Simple yes or no only as a response, and notice how your mind wants to no but, yes but, no because, and it wants to give you all of the reasons, and those reasons are about not having to experience the simple truth, the one within your heart. It could take you a moment, it could take you an hour, it could take you could live in these questions one at a time, 3 days, 3 months, 3 years, as you witness. Is it true?
I am angry and resist my mother because she doesn't respect or value what I have to say. She's controlling and she never accepts what I have to say as true.
Your mother is controlling, is that true?
Yes.
Can you absolutely know that it's true that your mother's controlling?
Yes, in my life, she's very controlling.
How do you react when you think the thought, my mother's controlling? What happens?
I resist her. I avoid her. I tune out when she's talking to me to where I don't even hear what she says because I don't want to hear it. When I was young, she was a single mom, and our financial situation was not really good, and I was in high school, and she was a seamstress, and she made me stay home from school all the time to help so that we could pay the bills. And I just wanted to be at school.
Yeah. What else?
I feel a lot of pressure, like it's not my responsibility to help care for the family, so I'm angry that I have to bear the burden.
Yeah, as though you have to. And you didn't.
But I did.
Because you wanted to. That's the part you miss.
I didn't feel like I wanted to.
No, you were believing you wanted to be at school. And as long as you're believing that, why did you stay home?
So that we could have a place to live.
How kind of you, how good of you, how dear of you. So believing, not taking responsibility for it, leaves you unaware of how kind you are. Is that clear enough? You're blind to it. You're busy with, my mother made me stay home.
I could just see the movie playing in my mind of how it went and how angry I felt because I felt like my childhood was being taken away and it wasn't my fault. It wasn't my responsibility.
What do you think she would prefer if there was any other way? That you go to school or stay home?
She would prefer I go to school and to not be dependent on me.
Let's look at the next one.
I want my mother to let me have a voice.
How do you react when you believe the thought, my mother won't let me have a voice?
I want to scream really loud. I just want to go to school and be normal like the other kids that don't have to worry about earning money so that their family can have a place to live.
And if I were your mother, I would say, that's what I want for you too. And what do you suggest? I don't know another way.
You're right. There wasn't another way. I'm here to help her.
Self-realization, until it's lived, it has no power. And eventually it gets so clean that you have no past to clean up. And when you think of those days, you just experience pure love. The next one.
I need my mother to love and value me for who I am.
And how do you react when you think the thought, my mother doesn't love and value me?
I say unkind things about her. I avoid her. And if she goes to hug me,
Well, she has every reason to hug you. Look at how you've been there for her. You turn it around. See if you can jump.
I don't love and value myself for who I am.
you're a little girl, it doesn't matter who you blame for it, you would make the decision yourself to stay out of school to help your family. That's who you are. And you haven't loved and valued it because you've been giving the credit to your mother. Give me examples of your mother, of what you love and appreciate about her.
She taught me that I could do anything that I put my mind to, and I believe it. That there's nothing I couldn't do if I wanted to.
Wow. I would love when you're ready, sometime even today, that you call her and thank her for that. What else do you love and admire about your mother?
I couldn't see it before, but she sacrificed for me so that I could have a better life. She sacrificed. She was alone. She's always been alone. I feel very ungrateful.
Well, up to now, you have been. But how can we be grateful for what we're not aware of? What else do you love and admire about your mother?
I love that she tries to see the good in others. Even though I always felt like she was not trying to see the good in me.
What did she ever say that led you to believe that she didn't see what was beautiful about you?
That I was ungrateful.
I love that you share that with her when you talk. That you're a little slow to catch up, but that she was right. And you had no idea.
Dang it.
Yeah, I hate when they're right. Gosh, we're the last to know. But we can't change what we haven't realized is there. So realizing it, that's a pretty lovable little girl. Let's look at the next one.
My mother is manipulative, psycho-controlling, negative, victim-minded, toxic, irritating woman. And I tried to think of a positive one. She's creative, intelligent, and in a world of pain.
Your mother's in a world of pain, is that true?
No.
Wow. That's a great discovery.
I'm in a world of pain. Dang it. And all along I blamed her.
So I am?
I am manipulative, psycho, controlling, negative, victim-minded.
Yes, and using your mother as a way to remain a victim. There's not one time she controlled you.
I am creative, intelligent, and in a world of pain.
Yes, your story about your mother is just a world of pain. Wow. Nice work.
Confusion is the only suffering on this planet. Every time you think you have failed, you are identifying as a failure. And every time identification arises, other thoughts surface that attempt to prove it. That's how the confused mind stays confused, how mind allows itself to live in the illusion of a past that never existed. Can you absolutely know that it's true?
I invite you to contemplate and notice how the mind wants to answer so quickly out of the old world, out of what you've been taught and told, what you're believing, and to just be still and drop under that and see what's there. Again, to drop into your heart, to drop into your soul, and to notice, what do you find there? Is it possible? Is it possible you've missed something?
I am terrified of getting old. I'm afraid that I won't be able to support myself. I have tremendous health concerns now that I didn't have before. I've had breast cancer. I'm going to be single soon. And I don't want to be a burden to my children, but I don't want to go to a nursing home. In fact, I'm just not going. That's what I've told my kids. I'm not going.
So you're not going, is that true?
That's true.
You're not going to a nursing home. Can you absolutely know that that's true, that you're not going to a nursing home?
If I have anything to say about it, I won't
Is
go.
that
Unless I'm incapacitated somehow.
okay, the moment you stop answering the questions, the work stops working. It's not right or wrong, it's just you're no longer doing the work. Justification, defense. Defense is the first act of war, even the war with the self. How do you react? What happens when you think that thought? I'm not going to a nursing home. And you're about to be single. And you're getting older, in your opinion. And you're becoming ill in places that were for other people, not you. How do you react when you think this thought?
I feel like I have control to make my own decisions, and I feel free. However, I should also add that my concern about that is that I will be a burden to my children.
Well, see,
and I don't want that either.
That's what we're looking at. We're looking at the what we would call negative responses. Like your children say, we need to put you in a nursing home, we're very busy. And you say, I'm not going to a nursing home. How do you react when you think that thought and you're on your way to the nursing home? Okay, we're looking at the negatives. You know, the feel-goods, they're working for us. But let's look at the other part. Okay, you're on your way to a nursing home. How do you react when you think the thought, I'm not going into a nursing home? And you're in one.
I've always told my kids I would escape.
Well, let's say you're in one now. How do you react? What happens internally when you think the thought, I'm not going to a nursing home, and you're getting out of the car, they're walking you through the lobby?
I'm sure I would feel terrified. Feel like I had completely lost my life as I know it, lost my independence, lost my home, my pets, lost my ability to make choices for my own life.
Okay, now I invite you to close your eyes, and anyone else afraid of going to a nursing home. Now, imagine your children are walking you into the lobby, checking you in, and the smell. Okay, look around. Look around, okay? Who would you be without your story? Notice, look at the people there.
I'd be a lot more relaxed and a lot less worried and feel much more of a sense of peace.
So let's turn it around. What's the opposite of I'm not going to?
I'm going to a nursing home.
Well, if the universe is friendly, why is that a good thing? That you would go?
I guess it would be a good thing.
Don't guess.
Okay. If
you know, get real. Get real, genuine. The work is about, you know, you're not going to buy your own lie. You're going to feel stress around it, like you're putting Band-Aids on stuff.
Well, I would have a place to live.
My goodness. A single woman with a place to live. We don't all, you know.
I also trust my children enough to know that they wouldn't pick out a horrible nursing home.
Wow.
And that I would also be able to have some pets.
Wow.
And help, I guess, with medical concerns or being fed, caring for myself.
What if you drop the or? Keep going with your list. And I could have a pet, and they would feed me, and...
I would have somebody to do my errands, get my groceries, do my laundry.
Well, yeah. So just consider that.
I'll consider it.
Yeah. It sounds like everything you want out of the nursing home. Only better. Everyone doesn't have that many people to wait on them.
Another good thing about going to a nursing home would be that I wouldn't be a burden to my children, which is another huge concern of mine.
Wow.
That's my number one concern,
Wow.
actually.
So, sweetheart, just sit in that a moment. It's what you're believing about the world that is the problem, not the world. What did you see without the thought? Did you see yourself living the same?
And it was summer and I had my shirt off, and some friends made some comments about how I looked.
Mm-hmm. Little 12-year-old, beautiful young man. You are unattractive. Is that true? They say you are. And I'm asking you, is that true? Can you absolutely know that it's true you're unattractive?
Yes.
How do you react when you believe that thought? They say you're unattractive and boom. How do you react? What happened?
Go back in the house, put my shirt on, feel that I don't want anybody to see me.
Your whole life is altered. Go back to that little 12-year-old before they said what they said, before you believed it. Who would you be without the thought, I'm unattractive? Who are you?
Someone that loves being out in the sun and playing, and someone that hadn't thought about it before.
Perfectly okay with your beautiful self.
Yeah.
So what happened was, and your life just became a shame. That's how powerful a belief is. Would you rather us love you for your body, or knowing it's going to get old and sick that's what happens, isn't it? You can't have it. That's why I say you're betting on the loser.
Well, it feels close, but I would go for being and not the body. Only just.
So this is good. You think if you have this beautiful body, this attractive body, that you're going to get what you want. I learned that personalities don't love, they want something. And that is the physical world. A mind that is so identified that it can't get out of it. It's seeking security, comfort, pleasure.
Unattractiveness is a state of mind. It's not a physical state. No thoughts about yourself are ever real.
I am afraid to open my heart to a committed relationship with a man because my heart has so much pain in it from getting hurt.
You know the pain, devastating. You should not do that again. You need to be very careful. Not open your heart to a man, ever. Is that true?
No, that's not true.
I mean all the way open your heart. Let's say that's dangerous. You could get hurt again.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Would it be dangerous? No, if I loved completely, it would not be dangerous. I am terrified.
What else? He says, I love you, I care about you, and it doesn't really matter what he says. You find yourself falling in love.
It's been so long, it's hard to even, I can't even imagine what an open heart feels like.
Here's what happens. It's how we react. It begins to kill him. It
Yes.
begins to tear him to shreds. That's how we keep our heart closed. You know, the ego's job is to kill everything but itself. Until it's questioned, the heart stays closed. We live very carefully and very alone.
Mm-hmm.
Even with someone.
Right.
What images do you see when you think the thought, I better be careful?
I immediately feel no trust. I don't even give it a chance to trust.
We're living what we don't want to happen.
Yeah.
Open mind, open heart. Closed mind, closed heart. Judge someone and believe it, your heart shuts down. You see why meditation works here? You could sit in this a long time. Let's look at the next one.
How do you want to change? I want myself to take the boxing gloves off and remove the U.S. Army from around my heart so I can give him a chance and myself a chance.
Well, if the work was alive in you, oh my goodness. Start to read that same one again.
I want myself to take the boxing gloves off.
Is that true?
Yes.
Can you absolutely know that it's true that you want to take off the boxing gloves?
I feel a conflict in my head and my heart. It's like my thoughts say yes and my heart is still closed for business.
So it's not an honest yes. Sweetheart, I want you to close your eyes and I want you to look at your life just the way you've lived it.
Wow, I feel.
Yeah. Not open to dating. Turn it around.
I am open to dating.
So give me examples of why that would be fabulous.
Because I would learn more about myself.
And what you want.
Yeah.
It's not about what he wants. That's just a bonus.
Yes.
To touch him, to love him. And when you love them, they can leave you too. It's okay. They come, they go, they even die. Always know that when you're turned off or you're angry, you're believing something about them that is going to give you within yourself, if you do the work with it, everything you've ever wanted. Because ultimately, you're the one you're dating.
Right. I feel that. I feel that now.
Yeah. Okay, so let's have a conversation. Ask me out. I'll be you, and you be this really wonderful man. Okay. That's crazy about me.
What's up, girl?
So far, he's perfect.
You think I could get your number and take you out?
Well, where would you like to go?
I would like to take you out to dinner.
That sounds fabulous. Yeah, I'd love to give you my number. So far, the worst can happen is I get a really great meal. This is about me.
Okay.
But if I projected he's going to hurt me, he only wants sex,
Yes.
he doesn't really care about me, all that stuff, I miss the meal.
I get it.
Got it?
Got it.
They invite you to a movie, which one?
Right.
They want to take you for a ride, do you like the car?
Oh my God, yes, because I was projecting all those things.
So ask me out again.
Hey, girl.
Hey.
You're looking good.
Yeah, you know, I feel the same way about me lately. You know, I do, you know, and I don't know much about my body, but, you know, my heart is huge. I just feel fabulous.
What are you doing after the club?
Well, why do you ask?
I thought maybe you'd like to come home with me.
Wow, do you want to have sex with me?
Yes.
I'll consider it.
God, that's
Do you have a number?
I love your number.
Great. We exchange numbers, and I call him or I don't. This is about me.
So wonderful, because I was putting it all about them.
0.
Oh, it's about me.
Yeah.
I have power.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited to date.
Yeah. Yeah. There's nothing more painful than our heart when it's shut down. And it's so simple to find those pieces of us through inquiry that would shut down our heart toward any human being.
If you don't love,
You are the love of your life, you know. When no one else is there, who is?
If there's so much self-love and you're not putting beliefs about what you should receive from the other person in the middle of the marriage, then what is marriage?
Marriage with the self. That's the ultimate marriage. There's no one else to marry but you. And then whoever the world says you're married to, you know, like the marriage certificate, that's just a bonus. And they'll give you what's left just in case you don't totally love yourself.
So you choose to be in a marriage in order to learn more about self-love.
Well, actually, you may not be aware of it, but that's how it works. And those of you that are single, you know, the people in your life, at the office, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, that's all you can handle.
I'm angry at my husband. He doesn't want to go to school.
Your husband doesn't want to go to the school.
Yeah.
Is it true?
Listen, this is more true here. I want him to go to school to learn the work. It will make my life easy.
Yeah. There's something a little off about that. Unless you've been honest with him. Like, you can say, sweetheart, I want you to go to the school because I find you totally unacceptable. If you go to the school, my life would be better.
Yeah.
And would you please do that for me?
Right.
And then he says yes or no.
Oh, he called me you following cult.
Well, he could be right if two people agreeing is your definition of a cult. You're in his cult. He doesn't want you to change cults. Your husband should come to school, to the 9-day school. Can you absolutely know that that's true?
No, I know that. But I want to control his life.
But what?
I want to be dictator, and I want to fix him.
Yes. So you're already answering question 3 before I could get there. How do you treat him? How do you react when you think the thought, I want him to come to the school, and he says no in every way he knows how to say it?
I try to manipulate him, and I angry at him.
So you begin to understand why he doesn't want to come to the school? You went for 9 days and you're all over him. In the name of love,
Yeah.
love kills.
It seems like the only thing I know is how to do war. And I don't
Sweetheart,
like
it's the beginning. You know, you just met the work, what, just
2 months ago.
2 months ago. You're a baby.
Well, I want to be just like you.
Well, you are, it's just there are a few concepts in between you and that to take a look at. So who would you be at home without the thought, I want my husband to come to the school? Who would you be living at home with your husband without the thought, I want him to come to the school?
Yeah, I have that moment when I do the right thing, like going to the morning walk and come home and very peaceful, calm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's who you are when you're not wanting. And using your husband for happiness when you already know how to have it without him.
But I want easy way.
You know, if I think my husband should come to the school, I need to come to the school.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Yeah.
If I think my children should come to this school, I need to get back in school. All I can say is the truth. I would love that you come to the school. I got so much out of it, and I want to share that with you. And if you are ever interested in that, let me know. And then the rest, you know, is just what you need to work with. You got the truth. It doesn't get any better than that.
Who would you be without the thought?
We begin to lose our identity. I invite you just to notice, not move away, just burn and stay in it. Just stay in it. This is your life we're talking about. This is the end of hate and fear and the beginning of love. So your brother was killed in Afghanistan? Can you absolutely know that it's true that he was killed? You know, if you think the answer is supposed to be no, then you're not doing the work. The work is not about guessing.
Then yes.
Good. And how do you react when you believe the thought? My brother was killed in Afghanistan.
There's no more reason to live. I just think about my mom and my sister and my dad, and I just totally go into their lives.
So you get images of a devastated family.
Mm-hmm.
And you helpless to do anything about it.
Yeah.
So close your eyes, watch.
I see him getting his body blown to bits. I see him, blood sort of coming out of his mouth. I see my mom crying.
As you're experiencing those images, describe your feelings.
Heartache, just really emptiness, panic, disgust, anger.
With your eyes closed, sitting in that same chair, who would you be without the thought, my brother died? Who would you be without your story? You see the image of you sitting there? Are you okay?
Yeah, I first want to say I am allowing myself to be joyful, to just appreciate the color of the rug on the wall.
So in that experience, is it your brother's death that's causing the pain, or what you're believing?
What I'm believing.
It is so good to know that brothers can die and you're okay. Let's turn it around. My brother died. Turn it around.
I died. I can find that one very easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your life died, as you knew it to be, because now it's filled with your mother's sadness in your mind. So life as you have known it. Look around. What has changed other than what you're believing?
I don't get as many emails, but I do watch a heck of a lot of his videos that I never would have seen.
Well, less emails, more of him.
Yeah.
Can you find another turnaround?
He didn't die.
Okay, so examples of that?
Well, we got a letter from him 4 months later after he
Wow.
died.
Amazing.
I can feel him in my heart more than I ever have. It's
It's amazing.
I invite you to open to it and let it kill you. Not to ever fear it, or just to notice when you fear it. I love to say that love will kill anything unlike itself. It just blows it into the nothingness that it is. Let's look at the next one.
He shouldn't have gone to that fucking war.
How do you react when you think the thought, he shouldn't have gone to that war?
It's my fault. If I had been nicer to him, if I hadn't left Seattle, if I had stayed with him, he wouldn't have gone. I blame myself, I blame the world.
Other people.
My father and my mother, very, very much so. Yeah, I just replay the images of growing up and how it should have been and what happened, what I perceive, and how that makes sense to me as being.
So whatever you have to believe to blame his death on someone, on something other than it just is, and that's enough. And if you look at it, that is, the suffering. And we try not to do it. We try to stop it. But as long as we believe that, those images have to be there so that we can continue to believe them. That's how it works. He shouldn't have gone to that war. Turn it around.
He should have gone to that war.
Examples.
He wanted
To
to.
live life as he thought best. Let's look at the next one.
I want Jason to be alive.
Is that true? Are you sure? Why do you want those people you love to be alive? For you.
Yeah.
It's not about them, is it? It's all about you.
So no.
How do you react when you think the thought, I want my brother to be alive?
I'm mad at him. I think he's selfish. He knew he was going to die if he went there.
Who would you be without that thought? I want him to be alive.
I would listen to what his letter said, which was, I want to be here, and if I die, I couldn't be happier. On his MySpace page, there's a thing that says, how do you want to die? That's one of those questionnaires, and he says, bleeding out next to my friends. That's how he died.
If the universe is friendly, why is there death? Why is that a good thing for him?
I think that he's in a beautiful place.
Well, I wouldn't begrudge that. What else?
For me, I've experienced so much faith and joy and serenity and pain and hell as well, but I had no idea what it would feel like to lose someone like this in my life. It's been a gift.
This is such an act of courage. When you're looking at these examples of your turnarounds, why is it good for him? Why is it good for me? Why is it good for our family? Why is it good for the world? There's no accident in the world. And I've come to see everything happens for us, not to us. And you say that, but can you do this? Again, death has such a terrible reputation. And it's so kind if your mind is open to it. When you get over the fact they're not here for me. As Steve said earlier, using people as a fix to feel good. The ultimate is, can you feel good without using us? And to step into that, into that state of gratitude where you really understand beyond what you think you're even capable of, gratitude for that person's life. It is not a little thing, death. But what we can be is generous enough to receive the gift of this life and the gift of this death.
There are no accidents in the world. When you are a lover of what is, your suffering is over.
My brother died when he was 31, and that was a good thing because he would be paraplegic. So he saved us, his wife actually, the trouble of having to take care of him. So that was a very good thing. And also because it was the only time that my whole life experienced my father not drinking. For the 6 months after his death, my father was so shocked that someone so young, so strong, could die in such a manner. It was the only thing that took my father out of drinking. And I got to experience the father that I wish I had had my whole life for at least 6 months, thanks to my brother.
There is nothing that happens that isn't for you, for your enlightenment, for your freedom. And I invite you not to believe me, of course, but to test it for yourself.
I still remember the moment when I was about 8 years old, and my mother, who we found out later suffers from chronic depression, turned to me and said, "You're a hateful, hateful girl." And that immediately, I took it in. And after that, it was like, before that I had been clear, and after that there was this black stain on me that I could never get rid of. But what I want to say is, after I grew up and had kids, I have a little daughter. Well, she's 19 now, but when she was about 4 years old, and she must have been that young because I remember her exact words, she did something that irritated me, and I said, "You're a bad girl." And she turned to me, and her eyes were like flashing anger at me, and she said, "I'm not a bad girl, I'm a good girl." And after I picked my jaw up from hitting the floor, I realized I had that option too. All this time I could have been saying that. And she had the wisdom at 4 years old to tell me that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Wow. I am everything that I have ever called other people. They were me all along. Everything I ever called my enemy was me.
Loving what is to love your state of mind. You love your state of mind. That is what's projecting the world. Love what you think, love what you see. It has to be. Hate what you think, hate the world.
I'm sad about the polar bears that are starving.
Yes, I can see. Just this topic is bringing you to tears.
Sad about the raccoons in my backyard. Afraid they're going to attack my cats.
Can you hear this? What happens to you right here, right now, when you think the thought the polar bears are starving?
I try not to think it, and I don't want to see pictures of them. And I get depressed and tense, so in my whole life I'm constantly trying not to be sad.
So you think the thought, that's a concept, and then the images happen, and then your emotions happen out of the images. Are those real polar bears, or is that an image?
As far as I know, they're real.
They're in your head.
Well, okay, there are ones in my head, but then there are the real ones.
You're in Southern California.
Yeah, but then there are the real ones.
I'm not trying to talk you out of the polar bears are starving.
I know, but...
Are they reality or fantasy?
Well, they're real images. Okay, they're real images.
Thank you. They're images.
They're images. Okay, yeah, they're real images.
Get it?
No, I don't get it.
Those are images.
Yeah, but then there are the real ones.
We've taken care of them. They're starving. Is it true? Yes, we've owned it.
Okay.
Yes, you're sad, but not until you witness the movie in your head.
True.
Very good. When we think the thought the polar bears are starving, we go to Google and we find out where we can support the polar bears. But can we do all of that without the sadness? Can we do it out of a state of gratitude and clarity and full-heartedness and ownership?
Okay. I can do it with $25.
So why are you so sad?
That doesn't
You're
help.
doing your part.
Well, but I can't take care of everything. That's the problem.
What? What's the matter with you?
I know, I'm an ex-therapist.
All the therapists I talked to got into the business because they just want to help people. And they want to find freedom for themselves. And what better way than to serve others? And we're doing the best that we can do when you consider what we're believing.
What should I believe?
Nothing I could tell you. But as you answer these questions, as I ask them,
Yeah.
and it feels right, trust that.
Okay.
Who would you be without your story?
Less sad, happy, relaxed, more available.
With the thought, sadness. Without the thought, happy. You know, a lot of you would feel guilty. Like, who would you be without the thought the polar bears are starving? I can't desert the polar bears. You know, I've got to think of them every moment. That's my job. You know, I'm starving, starving, starving. Polar bears, starving, starving. You know, I've got to suffer here. My job is to suffer. The polar bears, the polar bears, the polar bears are starving. Then there's the raccoons.
I try to feed the raccoons in the front yard so that they won't attack the cats that are stray in the backyard.
Can you find another turnaround? The polar bears are starving. But I
am starving.
Tell me about that. What are you starving for?
I'm not a therapist anymore, and I don't have a new something to focus on. Purpose. I am starving for a purpose.
Look at you. You're surviving that starvation. Okay. It's not pleasant for you, but you're surviving, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So why wouldn't the polar bears be at least as enlightened as you are?
What do you mean? They're starving and they're okay?
Well, you're starving and you're okay. They're in more pain than you are.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Absolutely no.
I feel that. Have you ever seen a polar bear in person, close up?
Just a stuffed one.
So try this turnaround. The polar bears are suffering more than I am. Turned around, I am suffering more than the polar bears. Now, example.
I probably worry more than they do. Maybe. They probably don't think about the raccoons. That's really true.
So let's turn it around. I want the polar bears to be okay.
Oh, okay. But I want to be okay.
You can take all of that and put it on you because you're the one that needs it right now. Because there are no polar bears in your area right now.
I feel like I don't have a right to be okay until the polar bears are okay.
You don't have a right to be okay when the polar bears are suffering. Is that true?
No.
If they're worthy of the end of suffering, aren't you?
I don't know.
Well, find out.
I don't think I can find out right now. So should I just be happy?
I don't think the polar bears would mind. I don't think they'd mind at all. Happiness is a guilt-free experience. So turn it around.
Yeah, I do deserve to be happy, even if the polar bears are not.
The next one?
Polar bears are beautiful, amazing, dangerous, and unknown.
Turn it around. And own it. I am.
I am beautiful, amazing,
Slow
dangerous,
it
and
down.
unknown. No, I
One
don't
at a
really want to
time.
slow it down.
What do you find beautiful about you?
Well, I think I'm beautiful in some ways.
Specifics.
I was thinking of the trees.
You appreciate trees.
I do. Yeah, I'm good at appreciating things.
I
can
have one.
connect with people sometimes. You have one?
I do. What's really beautiful about you is you care.
I do care. So if I got the sadness out of it all and I still cared, that would be cool.